try to come in here and just make an impact, do the best that I can to help the team win and try to, go far. It's just definitely been a great experience of just being around, these coaches who are very ambitious about, getting their players and all of just, making them better, just being the type of player that they want to be. So man, just being around this group of guys who also has a hunger of winning. So it's been a great thing to be surrounded by those type of people. It's just really helped me be who I am today.
What you learn about yourself, this season and in this tournament run?
That just no matter the circumstances, there's more that I can offer. It's not just about scoring. There's a lot that I can bring to the game, and just to these younger guys, who's coming in and just knowing that. Just trying to show the importance of playing at this level, and just don't take a day practice or a game for granted, because it can obviously be taken away from you. So I'm just trying to continue to learn that with myself, and just to give it everything I got every single day.
What was Coach Davis's message to you guys, post game today?
He just said, he's just proud of us the way we fought. He's just proud of the way we dug deep in this season. It's a very rocky start that we had to learn, and very difficult to coach with a team that was very diverse and really understand their role, understand their identity, the importance of being here. And then later on, we finally figured it out, and he was just proud of the way we figured it out together and solved the problem and continue to dig deep and follow through with it.
And it feels like you in particular obviously just got better as the season went along. From getting here to where you're at now, how much are you looking forward to, the future and even doing more in this uniform?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it into God's hands. He has amazing plans for me in the future. Whatever that looks like, I'm just going to trust him, obey him, and follow him. I just know I'm going to be, continue to work on myself and, control what I control and give the rest to him.
Vin, as physical as the game was, did maybe some of the foul trouble you got in surprise you at all? Because it seemed like a really physical game.
Yeah, I would say there's one or two calls that I can accept. I can admit that there were fouls, but being in those type of situations at a game like this is just really difficult to knowing that I can't be out there, in the battlefield with my brothers. To go out there and help them and just compete with them. And so the physical game like that, you try to play physical, but you also try to play smart. And that's just something I was just trying to do early on in the game.
You obviously played in the SEC before. Is it become more of a physical league than the ACC? Would you say there's a comparison there?
I think both conferences are very physical. They have very great talented players who are physical, knows how to play basketball, has great IQ to the game. And so it's like both conferences can bring it. And I believe that us and us did that today.
How disappointing or frustrating was it that you guys couldn't kind of pinpoint what would bring out the urgency from the start? Like it seemed like there was a pattern this season of falling behind early because, not necessarily what the other teams doing, because you guys didn't have just that urge early.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we just weren't ready. We just thought it was going to be just a game that was probably like free flowing, something that we would just continuously to kind of build up to. But now it was a game that right from the start, it was just a war, just a fight. And so we were honestly quite surprised about it. We were just trying to find a rhythm, trying to break out of it. But eventually, Ole Miss didn't pull their punches, and so we just know that we had to remain ourselves at halftime and bring the same fight to them.
What was it? Get any word on Jalen? Did word trickle back on?
I haven't heard any word from him, but I hope he's okay. Pray for him.
What was it that surprised you about that start? You said you kind of surprised you. What was it that surprised you?
Just the way they shot the ball. We played great defense. Last game to put us in this position, and we just thought we can try to turn them over, try to apply the same pressure as we could, and just try to force them to tough shots. But they hit those tough shots. They was making the right plays, and so we were just trying to figure out a way how can we adjust to it and try to stop them from scoring.
Vin, I know that the game just ended a few minutes ago and it's a painful loss, but hearing you talk a minute ago, Do you plan on coming back? Do you want to come back to this team? Will you explore the options in the portal? I mean, I know you've been in there before. Like, what is it? I know a lot of negotiations go into an off season. Like, what do you feel like the off season looks like for you?
Yeah, just continue to develop myself, to work on myself in every aspect of the game. I love it here. You know, I want to come back. I'm gonna leave it in God's hands. You know, I'm not sure what place He has for me. Maybe He wants me to come back. Maybe He wants me to be somewhere else. So I'm just gonna leave it to Him.
How do you think about just the way this season went for y'all as a team? Just how would you rate just the season in general?
Just, you know, I think it was just like a learning experience, a learning year, just for ourselves and for myself, honestly. Just, you know, being around this type of group of guys, you know, fascinated about winning, you know, fascinated about sports, and just, you know, be, you know, a great friend, you know, because they're my brothers, they're, you know, they're family here. So just knowing that we're just trying to figure it all out, you know, on the court as much, you know, we bond off the court, you know, something that we're just trying to bring to the game and to every practice. So that's something that we kind of had to build up to. Unfortunately, not from the start, but you know, eventually we figured it out and we kind of bonded and got connected.
After the